Hi everyone, Emily here, and today I have for you my June pile of possibilities. So, a couple of things before I get started into my June pile of possibilities. One, I have my window open and I live near like a busy street, but it's absolutely beautiful out, so I wanted to keep my window open. So hopefully you don't hear traffic sounds. Two, I realized I brought my stack of books over and then I realized these are not organized by the prompts for my readathon that I'm doing. I said it's my readathon. It's not my readathon. Bree over at Four Paws and Books, she is the host for this readathon and the organizer of it. I'm doing the amazing readathon. This is my first year doing it. I knew about it last year. I was kind of terrified at the idea of it, given that you don't know the prompts ahead of time. We will find out at midnight on June 1st what our prompt is for our first city, and about every 3 days we will get a new prompt. So it's kind of hard to plan for Amazing Readathon, and I knew about it last year. The idea intrigued me because I love The Amazing Race, but the idea of not knowing what the prompts were kind of scared me. And then I tried the Clue Readathon that Rainy over at Rainy Day Reads hosted back in October, and it actually worked out for me. So that's why I said, let's give it a go, The Amazing Race or The Amazing Readathon. And it's June, it's summer for me. I've got time off. So I'm a teacher, I'm not working. Perfect for me. So I joined up with Team Fantasy. So every fantasy book that I read will get me 50 extra bonus points for my team. I don't have to read fantasy, but if I read fantasy, it'll get me extra points. Since I'm still trying to complete the 52 book club reading challenge, and I'm falling behind on that. Thanks, A Court of Thorn and Roses series for that. And I'm doing the Our Fantasy Bingo. It makes sense for me to join the fantasy team and to try to pick as many fantasy prompts as I can. So, how I planned my TBR for this month is a combination of does it fit prompts for the 52 book club challenge that I'm doing, the Our Fantasy Bingo challenge that I'm doing, and then also Bree has put together sightseeing prompts. So what these are is if you complete the main city prompt for whatever leg of the race that you're in, if you complete that prompt before the next city prompt is released for your team, you can do extra prompts. So they're called sightseeing prompts, and that will help you get bonus points for your team as well. So what I did is I created a list that would fit those sightseeing prompts, hoping that some of these will also work for city prompts. Fingers crossed, because then I'll have... So what you see now might be completely different for my June wrap up based on what prompts are released for the city prompts. I also realized that when I pulled these over and brought them over here, I did not organize them by the different levels of sightseeing prompts. So I'm going to kind of be jumping all around in this video. So there are about 10 prompts per point level. So there's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 points that you can earn. And each point level has like about 10 different prompts. And you can only use one prompt per book. So there is a whole ton of flexibility with this amazing readathon, which is why I said, okay, let's give it a go. So this is going to be interesting. I'm trying to balance my journal, books. I'm going to back up the camera a little bit. You can't see this, but here's how technologically advanced I am, I don't have a tripod. I don't have a ring light. So here's how I film. I have a little ottoman, and then I've got an Afghan that I folded up, and 2 pillows, and then like a TV, like a little phone iPad stand that I got from IKEA, and that's what my phone is sitting on. That's how I record. Okay, so at any rate, so I'm going to be kind of all over. I apologize for that. So one book that I definitely need to read, I realized like I haven't been doing a good job dedicating myself to reading the Dresden Files, and I started that back in 2021, and I'm still working on it. And these books are they're quicker reads. So I have 2 on my TBR, or my pile of possibilities. One, well, this was originally book with 1 person on the cover. And I realized, like in the background there are 2 figures. I'm hoping that they're not people. I'm hoping that they're creatures. So right now, the prompt that I've got this for is a 400-point prompt, which was book with 1 person on the cover, but I don't know if those are actually people or not. I can also use this for a prompt where it says that are there 5 vowels on the front cover. So A, E in butcher, I in Jim, O in coat, U in turn. So if I use this for 5 vowels on the cover, then I would get 500 points for my team, and then 50 bonus points because this is a fantasy novel. Another book that I need to read for a 1-word need/want to read for a 1-word title would be Changes by Jim Butcher. This I need to read after Turncoat. And if I use this for the 1-word title, that would give my team 400 points plus a 50-point bonus for it being fantasy. There's also points based on how many pages that you read. And then we get currency that we can use to go from city to city between legs. And depending on what mode of travel we use will determine how much we have to pay in that currency. And then we'll also determine if we can double our page count for points, if it's just keep the same page count for points, or we have the page count for points. Bree explains it very well in her video. She's got a good frequently asked question document. So if you have questions about the readathon and how those points work, I suggest you review those items and not ask me, because I'm learning this myself and I don't know how to best strategize those things. Okay, then another book that I need to read, and this is for a book club that I'm a part of, and this is our pick for June. That would be Community Board by Tara Conklin. It sounds super cute. It's nice and short. So I think this is going to be a pretty quick read that I could probably knock out in a day. And if I use this for a sightseeing prompt, what sightseeing prompt was I going to use it for? Sorry, I now have to look at my notebook. This would give my team 300 points. The prompt would be animal on the cover. There's a cat here. There's a bird on top of the woman's head who's sitting on the park bench. And this is just about a woman coming back to her small town community and just the different people that she meets, from what I understand, in this online community board of people posting things. So someone in my online book club has read it and said it was really cute. Another book that I want to read is The 7-Year Slip. Now, this could work for a couple of prompts. One, there is a prompt where it has a number in the title, but I think that's like 200 or 300 points. I'm planning on using this for 400 points, and that prompt is a book with more than 100,000 ratings on Goodreads. This would also, for the 52 book club, the prompt that would fit would be a yellow spine. I had originally had planned to read Children of Time, or not Children of Time. I can't think of it now. The Rebody Problem. But I have so many, like I've got Stormlight Archive that I'm trying to get through, and so many other like thick fantasy books that I just was like, I need to substitute out something for a quicker read, and so I figured this would work. Another book that I hope to read is The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I have heard that there's some problematic things with how this book came to be and how he came about writing this book. It's also very beloved by people. So I'm curious to read this just to see how I feel about this book. I have yet to read it. I originally had this down for, it's got 5 vowels on the cover. It would also give me bonus points for it being fantasy. So I do need to read this for the 52 book club or our fantasy. I can't remember which one. I can't remember which challenge where the prompt is to read it by a neurodivergent author. But so I do need to read this. Right now I'm not quite sure what prompt I'm going to put this in yet. So hopefully there's a city prompt that I could make this work. Another book that I plan on reading is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. From what I understand, this is about like role-playing games, I think. The prompt that I'm using this for is a 500-point prompt, and that's foiling on the cover. See the book of the year, book of the month, book of the year thing there. This also is a host favorite, so that will get extra bonus points for my team. Oh, I just dropped a book. Hold on. Togo Gadget Arms. All right, phew, I got it. So, also, in picking these books, I've been trying to pick what are shorter books that I can read quickly, okay? So another book I plan on reading is, or I might be able to read, is Octavia E. Butler's Fledgling. And the prompt for that is an author who uses initials. She definitely uses initials. This also, for the 52 book club, it fits the prompt of a book that was published by Hachette. And all I really know about this book is this is about vampires, and it also discusses racism and deals with racism in America. I really enjoyed... Why can't I think of it now? I had a brain fart moment. What is her book called? See, now I'm trying to scan my shelves to see if I can find it. Oh, come on. I cannot think of it. Kindred. I really enjoyed Kindred. I seriously had a brain fart moment there. I really enjoyed Kindred by her. I've read Paternoster and was like, eh. And I've read Parable of the Sower. I think that's the first one in that duology. Didn't really care for it all that much. I mean, it was okay. But I didn't see... It was okay. So I've heard that this isn't her best work. So I'm already prepared going into that. Another book that I really want to read and need to get to is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. Again, it's fantasy, so it'll give me an extra 50 bonus points. The sightseeing prompt is person's name and the title. So that'll be 500 points. And I know for our fantasy bingo, this fits alliteration. And then there's, and I can't remember, or no, it would fit alliteration. It also fits heist, like bad guys, and if there's like a heist. And I know it fits 52 book club. I think it fit if it starts with an L, and like that could be debatable. Some people use the, some people don't count the when they are alphabetizing, other people's do. So just depends on how you count things. Another book that I need to get to sooner rather than later is Before They Are Hanged, and this would fit the over 500 pages prompt. That would be 500 points for a sightseeing prompt, and then also the 50 points for it being fantasy. I do need, I've read The Blade itself last year, and then I listened to it again earlier this year. For the 52 book club, there is a prompt that the book takes place in a week or less. And the book that I'm using for that is The Heroes. But that means that I need to finish the original First Law trilogy and then another book, Best Served Cold. I need to read 3 books before I can get to The Heroes. So I need to get to that sooner rather than later. Another 500 point prompt is a title that has exactly 5 words. So for that would be The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. And from what I understand, this has like some time travel events. It's about some women in a family, and like the women go missing. I've heard good things about this. I really loved, oh gosh, why am I blanking on everything? I swear, you turn a certain age as a woman, and you like, and it's true. Like, when you hit a certain stage in your life as a woman, you do sometimes begin to forget things. It's not that. What is it? It was her other adult book. So I read her other adult book. I really enjoyed it. I also liked Sky in the Deep a lot. So hoping I like this one. Another book that I've heard really good things about is The Ministry of Time by Kayleanne Bradley. I'm not sure if I said that name right. And the prompt that this would fit is it just has words on the cover. And I'm trying to find, oh, and that would be a 400 point book. Another book that I know I could read in a day is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This is their latest release, and the prompt is a book written by 2 or more authors, and that would give my team 400 points. And then I have books on the floor, and so I'm reaching for them. I don't want to, trying to pick it up. All right, there we go. Then another prompt is a book with the main character who is non-human. And I've read 4 books in the series. This is book 5. I need to keep making progress in this series. And that would be Lodestar, Keeper of the Lost Cities, Lodestar by Shannon Messenger. And this follows Sophie and her friends. Sophie is an elf. She was raised in the human world. And when she's 12, she learns that she's an elf and has special abilities. And there's a reason why, that she has even more special abilities as an elf that other elves don't typically have. My stack just fell over. Okay. All right, I got 3 books left, and my stack totally fell over. So another book that I have on deck as a potential book to read is Drowning by T.J. Newman. And this would fit the prompt where it's a book with a train, plane, or an automobile on it. Now, the original prompt says train, plane, or car, but I grew up in the 80s. I was a kid in the 80s, and I know that movie Plane, Trains, or Automobiles with Steve Martin and John Candy. And I'm sorry, I love that movie. And so I'm going to rename it as Plane, Trains, or Automobiles on the cover. This for sure has a plane. This is about a man and his child. They get into a plane crash, and the one person, they have like a diving team that's going to try to rescue them, and the person in charge of the diving team is his wife, whom he's in the process of getting a divorce from. So I've heard really good things about this book, and so it's been on my TBR. I just don't know if I'll get to read it this month. So another book that I hope to read is The Pomegranate Gate. Like, just look at this cover. How stunningly beautiful is this cover? So The Pomegranate Gate by Ariel Kaplan. Now, this could fit the prompt of one person on the cover. This could also fit the prompt of published in my birthday month. So this was published in September. I was born in September. So those 2 prompts are worth 400 points. For our fantasy bingo, this would work for first book in a series. I thought it was originally a standalone. I could also use Hurricane Wars for that prompt too. I don't know what I'll use yet. It all just depends on where time is. But this book, from what I understand, has vibes of the Spanish Inquisition and Jewish folklore. So that's what intrigues me about this book. And last but not least, if I can reach it, is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. And this would fit, hold on, where did it go? Was it only, so Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone would fit, now I can't turn the pages of my notebook. Fun times. Okay, isolated setting. So it's worth only 200 points if I read this for my team, but it would also fit for the 52 book club, the like closed room mystery. And so basically the whole premise is everyone in this guy's family has somehow killed someone. And I started reading it, like I've gotten maybe into a chapter into it when I was waiting at half price books for my my books that I was turning in for credit. So I was sitting there reading it while they were assessing my books. And it's very like tongue-in-cheek nod to Agatha Christie books and Raymond Chandler. So I already was beginning to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Whew, thank you for hanging in there with me through the chaos as I was trying to grab books off the floor. Books are tumbling down everywhere. So I appreciate you hanging in there with me. Of all of these books that you have seen, have you read any of them? Which ones do you think I should prioritize? I know for sure I want to prioritize Tomorrow, House on the Cerulean Sea, and The 7-Year Slip. And basically, if it's a fantasy book, I'm going to be prioritizing it because those will get extra bonus points for my team. So, have a wonderful, happy reading month. Bye.